Hi, in this video, I'm going to walk through another commit to the Light Portal UI. So here is the commit. Add sign up form for user registration. So before we walk through the code, let me show you what has been done. So this is the current UI, the Light Portal UI. On the left is a sidebar. And here is not logged in yet. You can log in, and you can there's a menu called you can sign in, you can sign up. Sign in, we've already done that before, like in the previous video. For sign up, you can click this sign up, and it will show a form. This form is React schema form. It's generated from the schema, so you can select host, email, and there's a country. So this is a load from a remote server, from our reference server, and you can select the country, and the province will be basically reload from remote server. There's Ontario, and then you have Toronto, Mississauga. If you switch to USA, and you can see New York State and New York City. So this is how the sign up form works. If you click the button sign up, it will do the validation. We'll see, oh, this email is not is required and is not input password and the password confirm, things like that. So this is how the application works, the sign up form. After the validation, when you click sign up button, it will basically send the request to a remote API to do the registration, user registration. So let's walk through the code, see what has been done, like for the code. So when I work on the form, like especially for the country, province, and city cascade dropdown, I need to do some debugging because it's not working immediately like the React schema-form-rc-select demo. So I basically switched to the VS Code. The VS Code debugging is very good compared with IntelliJ. I'm using IntelliJ on the Sublime text majority time before for JavaScript development. But now, like, I'm a firm believer, like VS Code is probably the best IDE for JavaScript. It's very easy, you can debug into the JavaScript itself. So for this form, I added this React schema form 084 and React schema-form-rc-select 037. And I also upgrade the React script to 340. In here, I add a new route, exact path /form :form ID, and it will redirect to the form component. I'll show you the form component later on. So here is the form component. Within the form component, I added this this React schema form rc-select, which is the dropdown for the country, province, and the city. The cascade dropdown. With all the dropdown is populated by the remote APIs. Whenever it's changed, as if the dependency is changed, the dependent ones will be updated as well. For the arrows, I remove this as arrow, just use show arrows, because the form itself need this variable to be sent. And a mapper, rc-select to rc-select select component. This mapper will be passed into the schema form, so that for anything like start with rc-select, it will be rendered by rc-select component. This rc-select is imported here from React schema form rc-select. This is a plugin for the React schema form. Yeah, the cookie stuff, I removed that already. because the form doesn't need this anymore. This is coming from, I think, open banking application. It uses cookie to get user ID and using the user ID to retrieve the account for that particular user. One thing we need to make sure is this, like previously we pass in the user ID into the model. Now you need to pass in this empty object because form data.model is null. If you don't do this, this model will be null. If there's some problem with a null model, undefined model in the rc-select component, I still need to do some more investigation. So for now, like you need to pass in this empty object at least to the schema form so that rc-select will work for the country, province, and the city dropdown to work gracefully. Here we change a little bit for the onModel change. We make this as a constant using the arrow function. We add this type key value and the type. So after when this is called, we basically call utils.select or set key model value type, and after that we set the model again using the new model, the updated model. We cannot just using a new model or something like that, because this model is object. It has to be using this spread so that you create a brand new object. Otherwise, the component is not re-rendered. In that case, if you select the country, the province is still not rendered, and it won't go to the remote server to pick up a list of provinces belong to that country. So in order to ensure whenever the model is changed, this component will be re-rendered, we have to use a spread to create a new object. So this is very crucial. Like I spent a lot of time to debug into it to figure out what's going on. And for the schema form, we need to pass in the mapper so that we can leverage the React rc-select. We also need to pass the show arrows, which is when the button is clicked, we make this true. If it's not valid, this will be true. So that you can see on the UI, all the error message will be shown up. We make the change to the user contact so that when you click the sign up, we output the console logout, and we basically called history to push /form sign up form. The sign up form is the form ID. I'll show you later on in the here we go, in the forms.json. This is how the form is defined. It's called user registration, and we have removed the old ones. We basically adding those properties. Host will be enum. Now we only support API.NET, but later on we can support multi-tenancy, so other organization can use our live portal to work the same way, like what we are working on. We have email. We don't use user ID anymore. Use email as the unique identifier. The language is enum. You select. Now only EN is supported. Then we have a first name, last name, password. The email is the gender, female, male, birthday, Taiji wallet. This is a wallet blockchain address. In the future, it might be utilized, but now just simply ignore it. So country, province, city, postcode, address. So this is the entire form schema definition, we require host, email, password confirm. Those are the mandatory fields. This is a form definition. We remove this stars that we define each individual property, how it should be displayed on the form. So password is display type will be a password, so that you can see on the form if you type using this this star not to display the real text. This is the how the password type works. This is confirms password type as well. First name, last name, just a normal text box. Birthday, it will display the date, and you can see the date is just like this. You can things like that. First, gender, wallet, and country. So you can see country type as RC-select is what we pass in the mapper, and the action will be a URL to access this URL. The URL is our reference API, lightAPI.net/r/data !name equal to country. So we got the list of countries. And for province, we will use RC-select. The action will be this API data name equal to province, and here's the extra rela equal to country province. This is a relationship from country to province, and from the relationship from is from the country. So this is $country, $bracket country. It's basically we are just getting the you select the country will be in the model, and we are just replace this from the model, so that you can have a real URL. For example, you select country, here is USA, here will be replaced as USA. City is the same, but the relationship will be the province to city relationship, and from is the province. So you select Ontario in the province, and here will be Ontario, replaced with Ontario. So that's pretty much like for the sign up form. The next step for me is to complete the form submission, so that we can have backend API invoked. Yeah, that's it. Bye bye.